Alright, hey guys, welcome back to another video. This video is going to be my VHS collection. As you can see, I have all my VHS tapes right here. Here are some of them in the shot, as you can see. Yep, so I have a lot to go through. Keep in mind that I had these VHS tapes for a very long time. Don't own every single one that I've had since my childhood anymore, unfortunately. But here are some of the ones I still have and own. Most of these belong to my late aunt, Gail Brownlee. So if you see GB on the on the front of the VHS tape, it's because she used to put her initials on everything that she owned back then. So yeah, so if you see that, that's what that means. Some of these are VHS tapes that I bought. I'll mention that when I show each one, the ones that I bought, because I used to actually collect them, but then after a while I just stopped. But yeah, so I'll show that. Some of them I don't have no more. The ones I bought, I don't know what happened to them. But if I can remember the names of the movies, I'll say it. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video, shall we? Now let me take this off right here, and let me just push it right there. Let me move myself up. All right. Hopefully you can see me good. Hopefully you can hear me good. I'm not using my mic today because I actually have my phone on a tripod. So, and it's blocking the the port where I put my mic at. So hopefully you can hear me good. I have the fan on because it's pretty hot today, as you can see behind me right there. So yep, let's get into the VHS collection. I'm going to start with the big box VHS tapes. The ones mostly that Disney did. It's like, has a white, case. And I didn't clean these off. I don't know why. I should have cleaned these off before I decide to show these. Jesus Christ. So the first one here is 101 Dalmatians. I remember enjoying this movie a lot. I haven't watched it in a long time, but that's the back of it. Pretty good movie. I don't really remember what it was about, but I just remember enjoying it a lot. Most of these movies I never watched. Just keep in mind that. Next up is The Jungle Book 2. I wish I had the first one on VHS. Used to own it years ago, but I don't have it no more. This is part 2. Didn't enjoy this one as much as the first one, but it was an alright movie. Maybe I'll revisit it one day. Next up is one of my favorites, and that is Matilda. Original VHS. Love this movie. I can watch this movie every year. Here's the back. Trying to be careful with this because these things is old, but very good movie. Dusty too. Next up is a bootleg version of Pokemon: The Mystery of Mount Moon. It has 3 episodes from the first season of Pokemon. Don't remember where I got this from. It's been too long. Yeah, I don't remember where I got this from, but my favorite episode on here is probably Challenge of the Samurai, because it has Challenge of the Samurai, Showdown in Pewter City. No, Showdown in Pewter City, that's my favorite. And Clefairy in the Moonstone. So Showdown in Pewter City is my favorite. Then next up would be Challenge of the Samurai, and then Clefairy and the Moonstone, which I didn't like that episode like that. But yep, so that's the Pokemon VHS tape. Next up is A Christmas Story. I haven't watched this in years because they always show it on TV every single year. It's just ridiculous that they show it for the entire day every Christmas. It's like, I just find that pointless. It's like, who's going to sit there and watch this all freaking day? Nobody. Unless you have it for like background music or something. But Christmas Story, good movie. Next up, we have Ella Enchanted. Now, this is actually one of the VHS that I bought when I started collecting them. Good movie. But I just hated how they took advantage of her, because she would tell them, they would tell her to do something and she would just automatically do it. But it was a good movie. Next up is E.T. I never watched E.T. Maybe I will one day. I don't know. Maybe I'll end up liking it. Yeah, I never watched this movie. So, can't comment on that. And it says digitally remastered. What that means. Next up is Space Jam. Love this movie. I bought this movie on 4K Blu-ray last year, I think. Classic movie. I have this on VHS. I have it on DVD and Blu-ray. I should do a picture on that. Next up is one of my favorites as well, Kiki's Delivery Service. My cousin Jessica, she got me into this movie because she would watch it all the time, and then I watched it once and I liked it. The company I made this movie is called Studio Ghibli, and I want to try their other movies. Yep, so this is the original VHS copy of it. Next up is a movie, surprisingly I never watched. I have to get on it, I know. Aladdin. Like, I don't watch this movie. Maybe I'll watch it today. I played the games growing up and I really enjoyed the games, but I never watched the goddamn movie. I gotta watch it. I've been saying that I'm gonna watch it and I never did. But Aladdin, I'm sure it's a good movie. Can't wait to get into that. Next up is Transformers. Never got into Transformers. I'm not sure how many episodes is on this, but I never got into the series. It looks alright though. And the last big box movie is the Rugrats movie. Dope movie. Never really got into the other one, Rugrats in Paris. Yeah, so never got into that one. I'm gonna take a sip of water. Alright, so let's continue with the collection. Next up is Home Alone 2. One of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. Here's the back of it. Great movie. I have it on DVD as well. Love this movie. Next up is one of my grandmother's favorites, Beverly Hills Cop with Eddie Murphy. I love all three films. I'm not sure which one is my favorite, but this is an absolute classic movie. You can watch this on HBO Max, I believe. Yeah, I think it's on HBO Max. Next up is one of my favorite superhero movies, is Spider-Man 2. And one of my favorite Spider-Man movies of all time is this one. Love this movie. This is one of the VHS tapes that I bought back when I was collecting VHS tapes. I think I started getting VHS tapes back in 2008 or 9. I'm not sure. But what year this movie came out? This movie came out 2004. I might have been getting them before then. But, yeah, good movie. I love it. Another one that I had bought, Mulan 2. Not as good as the first film. The first film is better than this one in my opinion. This one was good, but you know, I didn't enjoy it as much as the first one. The live action film is pretty good too. The only thing that sucks about that one, they don't have Mushu. Here's one of my grandmother's favorites, Drumline, with Nick Cannon. Very good movie. It's one of my favorites as well. Good movie. Good time. Next up is The Real Bruce Lee. I don't think I ever watched this one. It says here, includes rare footage taken from Chinese archives. So, yep. And my sister's FaceTiming me, but she's gonna have to wait. Yep, so that's that. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Oh, I tried to send her a message. Next up is Eyes Behind the Stars. I never watched this film. I don't know what it's about, but apparently I have it. If you ever watch any movie that I said that I never watched, if you ever watched it, please let me know how it is. Next up is Beverly Hills Cop 3. This is the third film. I don't have the second one. This case is a bit weird because there's no artwork or nothing. You know, it's just black. But Beverly Hills Cop 3, good movie. Next up is Singing in the Rain. Really don't remember watching this. Not even sure if it's good or not. And it says 40th anniversary edition. Next up is I'll Do Anything. Never watched this one. Looks interesting though. I'm always open for new movies. Next up is Rocktober Blood. Never watched this one. I'm like a killer freaking singer or something? I don't know. Next up is Sudden Impact. Never watched this movie. Seems like a good film. Maybe I'll check it out. I gotta get another VHS player so I can watch some of these. It's not available on streaming services. Next up is one of my favorites, is Beauty and the Beast. Don't remember where I got this from. I think I bought it from somebody. Absolutely classic movie. I have it on Blu-ray. I have it on DVD. Great movie. The live action film is good too. Next up is Muppet Family Christmas. I don't think I ever watched this one. Maybe this Christmas I will. So that's Muppet Family Christmas. Okay, we have quite a few stacks here. 4 more. Next up is Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle. This movie was freaking hilarious. I love this movie. And this is also one of the ones that I bought when I was collecting VHS tapes. Funny story about this movie. My younger sister, my sister-in-law, and I we just was watching this movie, and then one day we decided, okay, we want some White Castle, so we went all the way to Crown Heights, Utica, to get White Castle. It was funny. Next up is Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon. One of my favorite Bruce Lee movies of all time. One of my favorite Kung Fu movies of all time. I didn't realize I had this in my collection. You know, because I did do a picture on Instagram of my Bruce Lee VHS tapes in the games. And I didn't include this one because I didn't know I had it. But it's cool to have this on VHS, and it's just such in perfect condition. Like, look at the tape. It's like not a scratch on there or nothing. Well, that's Enter the Dragon. Next up is Hitch with Will Smith. Pretty funny movie. I like the actor, Kevin James. He's hilarious. Playing the King of Queens. But this one was one of my favorite movies that Will Smith was in. And that's also a DVD that I bought when I was collecting the VHS tapes. Next up is Are We There Yet? Now, in the front, it says the funniest family comedy since Home Alone. I mean, it is funny, but I wouldn't go that far. But this was a good movie. Not one of my favorites that Ice Cube played in, but good movie. Next up is New York Minute. I didn't think I would watch something or like something like this. I was just, one day was just looking at VHS tapes, and then I saw this. I was like, okay, I like the Olsen twins, and it turned out to be a funny ass movie. I have it on DVD as well. But good movie though. Next up is, what the hell is this? Deadly Strike. It has like 2 movies in one. It's like 2 of those Kung Fu movies. Bruce and Shaolin Kung Fu and Deadly Strike. Yeah, I've never watched these. I don't know, maybe one day I'll give it a shot. That's the back. Forgot to show the back of it. Next up is Get Christie Love. It's a movie I really want to see. My aunt used to enjoy this, and my grandmother as well. Next up is Scared Silly. Never really watched the Ronald McDonald cartoons, but this one does look interesting. So I'll probably go check it out one of these days. Next up is Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas. Man, I really got to get a VHS player so I can watch these Christmas movies around Christmas time, instead of just watching the same old movies all the time. Yep, so that's Alvin and the Chipmunks Christmas. Next up is The Legend of Grimace Island. That's the Ronald McDonald. Never watched this one. It's probably good. Next up is The Legend of Wolf Mountain. Never watched this movie. I don't know, it looks like a horror movie or something. Next up is Pretty Woman. Never watched this movie. I know a lot of people like it, but I ain't never watched it. Guy kind of look like Pierce Brosnan from 007. Okay, now this one is Michael Jackson Thriller. It's like the making of Thriller. You know, there's no cover or anything. Yeah, this is the making of Thriller. Yeah, my grandmother used to love this one. She watch it all the time. Okay, I'm trying to move everything up now. 3 more stacks, y'all. 3 more stacks. Next up is Free Willy. Never watched Free Willy. You know, my grandmother used to watch it all the time, but I never got into it. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll try it. Next up is Mrs. Doubtfire. Now, this I have watched. Funny movie. Robin Williams is a genius. Great, great film. I highly recommend it. And it has the guy from 007 right there. Pierce Brosnan. He's in it. Next up is Best of the Best Without Warning. Never watched this one. But it does look interesting though. Like a karate movie or something. Don't know. But yep. Next up is Hard to Kill. I watched this not too long ago. Again, it's one of my favorites. They have this, I think you can watch it on Tubi TV. Not sure if it's still available up there. But this is a good movie. Very good movie. I highly recommend that one. Next up is one I have watched. I watched not too long ago. Is More Money. Funny movie, man. Funny movie. I didn't think I would like it, but it turned out to be not a bad movie. It has Marlon Wayans and Damon Wayans. They are hilarious, and it has Stacey Dash. She's beautiful. So yep. More Money. I think I have the soundtrack for that film. Next up is Alice. Never watched this. Don't know if I ever will. It looks alright though. Next up is Misery. And this movie looks crazy as hell, so it's something that look like I would get into. So yep, Misery. Never watched that one. Next up is Elmo Saves Christmas. I think my niece would like this. She probably saw it already. You know, because they got all these old movies on, you know, YouTube and stuff like that. But I never watched it. Next up is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Good movie, good movie. I watched this a long time ago. Haven't watched it in years though. Next up is A Perfect World. It's the same guy that played in Southern Impact, Clint Eastwood. I've never watched any of his movies, I don't think. But this is something I will try probably. Next book is one of my favorites, Footloose. Good film, good film. Kevin Bacon, starring him, and Chris Penn, good actors. Rest in peace, Chris Penn. Okay, Footloose. And apparently I have another copy of E.T. Same movie, but like different. I think this is probably the original one, and the other one is like the remastered version. Yeah, so I have 2 copies of E.T. Next up is Peter Pan, Return to Neverland. I don't think I ever watched this one. Yeah, I don't think I ever watched this one. And it says it's a demo tape, not for sale or rental. For promotional use only. That's interesting. 2 more stacks, guys. 2 more stacks. Next up is Repossessed. Never watched this one. It looks like a it looks like a spin-off of what's that movie, The Exorcist? Yep, that's probably what it is. Because it says, look who's back with brand new Exorcist. Next up is one of the longest movies ever, Batman and Robin. I've never fully watched this whole movie. Maybe one day I will. But I just remember it being so long. But next up is Car Wash with Richard Pryor. Never watched this. I don't know. Maybe I gotta try it because I like Richard Pryor's movies. And he's funny as hell. So, yeah. Car Wash. Another one I never watched. Saving Private Ryan. I heard this movie was good. Definitely gotta get into this one. You know, I like these war movies. Good film. I'm sure it's a good film. Next up is Cage Terror. Never watched this one. It looks interesting though. Yeah, so I think I might try it. Next up is Mo Better Blues, a Spike Lee joint. It has Denzel Washington in it, so I think I'm gonna try this one. I'm not sure if they stream it anywhere. Yeah, so I'm gonna try that one. Next up is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I've never watched this film. I heard it was good. Next up is Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Now this movie, I love it so much. Jim Carrey is hilarious in this film, and it's one of my favorites. It kind of gave me Harry Potter vibes when I first watched it, but I was just buying random stuff and came across this and I bought it and I absolutely loved it. I'm glad I bought it. Back then, that is. Another one of my favorites, Fat Albert. Great film. I like what they did with this one. I think you can watch this on Tubi TV, I think. Or maybe Netflix, I'm not sure. Next up is South Park, Volume 5. I think it has like a few episodes on here. I don't think I watched any of these episodes. But South Park is funny. Not for kids though, definitely not for kids. Okay, I'm gonna show all these at the same time because they came in like in a box set, but I don't have the box no more. The first one is Fist of Fury, Chinese Connection, Game of Death, and Return of the Dragon. Now these are all of Bruce Lee's movies that came in like in a box set. Here it is right here. Yeah, but I don't have the slip cover for the box set no more. I don't know what happened to it. But Fist of Fury, this is the first one that I showed. This is one of my favorite movies of all time. Fist with an S at the end of Fury, aka the Big Boss. That's basically the other title for the movie. It's the same movie. It's a bit confusing when you think about it because, you know, like certain places then the movie is called something else. Yeah, so it's Fist with an S at the end of Fury, aka the Big Boss, for this film. And the next one is Chinese Connection, aka Fist of Fury, without an S at the end, just straight up Fist of Fury. You know, but when you go on these streaming services, it's not going to say Chinese Connection. It's going to say Fist, Fist of Fury for this one, which is Chinese Connection, which is this one as well. But then when you look up for this movie, which is confusing because the title is too similar. And they have this on Tubi TV as well, both of these movies. So if you want to watch this one, look for it to say Fist with an S at the end of Fury. But if you want to watch the other one, look for where it says Fist without the S at the end. It's not going to say Chinese Connection. But anyway, that's to clarify the confusion for these movies. The titles is just ridiculous. But I love this one as well. I watched these not too long ago. Game of Death. This is the one with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This one's one of my favorites as well. Then again, I didn't like this one too much because Bruce Lee never finished this one. This one was good too. I like Return of the Dragon. Great film. This is the one where he fights Chuck Norris. Okay, so that's, let me see, show that one as well, like that. Okay. Okay, the last stack here. Next up is Live and Let Die, 007. I never watched this one. The only 007 movie I ever watched is GoldenEye. And I can't bring myself to watch any other one, but maybe one day I'll try them out. Next up is Bull Durham. Never watched this one. Next up is Fantasy Mission Force with Jackie Chan. I don't think I ever watched this one. Back. Okay. Next up is New York Rangers, 1994 Stanley Cup champions. I don't like hockey at all. Never got into it. Next up is Like Father, Like Son. I don't think I ever watched this one. Heard of it, but I never watched it. Next up is Fist of Fear, Touch of Death. I don't think I ever watched this one. Maybe I did. It just shows, you know, all his movies in like one film. I think I watched it years ago. Next up is Other People's Money. I do want to watch this because I like Danny DeVito. Looks like a fun movie to watch. One of my grandmother's other favorites, and I watched this not too long ago. Let me try not to get the title wrong. Action Jackson. Great film. Great film. Loved every minute of it. Really good film. And Vanity is beautiful. Next up is My Cousin Vinny. Pretty fun movie. My manager at work, he recommended I watch this, and didn't even know it was sitting in my closet until I moved. So, yep. I watched it and it's a good movie. I like it a lot. Next up is Dragon, the Bruce Lee story. Basically a biopic of Bruce Lee. you can see it had some tape there because of the thing was ripped. But good film. I enjoyed it a lot. Last two is by my childhood crush. Those of you who may know already, if you know me in real life. Next up, Raise Your Voice. I don't think this is streaming on anything. I gotta get this on DVD because I do want to watch this again. I've watched this a long time ago. Very good movie. I enjoyed it. And last but not least, like the best movie of all time, Cinderella Story. Love this one. The Cinderella movie with Brandy is my favorite, but this one is a close second. So yep, that was like the only Cinderella movies I liked. Okay, that is it for my VHS collection. This video was pretty long because I had a lot to go through. I hope you enjoyed it. And I just noticed my niece's bike is in the shot, so it's not mine, that's my niece's bike. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. It was fun doing this video. Let me know what's your favorite movie of all time, or do you collect VHS tapes? I don't collect them no more, but if I ever happen to come across a movie that I really want on VHS, I will buy it, but I don't seek them out, you know, like I used to. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this video. Leave a like on this. It will really help my channel get out there. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.